simplifying your life so you can actually go out and enjoy your life. That's really the key to it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Simplicity Film Show. If you're listening in on the podcast, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. And if you're watching here on YouTube, how's it going? Hope you guys are having a really good day. This is the second installment of the Simplicity Film Show. For today's video, for today's podcast, I wanted to kind of talk about minimalism because I think that word is thrown around a lot and I see a lot of videos on YouTube about it, and I think there's a lot of huge misconceptions regarding it. I think a lot of people think that minimalism is just selling your car, throwing half your furniture away, getting rid of all your stuff, and just living a super basic and minimalistic life, right? But I think that's really far from the truth. So for me, I don't walk around calling myself a minimalist, but I've definitely adopted certain things from the whole minimalist movement that I've actually implemented into my own life, and it's actually been super useful, and it's actually helped improve my life in a lot of different ways. One of the very first things is really not having to make so many decisions when I wake up in the morning. If you guys aren't familiar, Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, if you look at all their interviews, when they go up and talk about their products and things like that, they're always wearing like a plain t-shirt and a pair of jeans, or Steve Jobs with that black sweater and turtleneck, and then Mark Zuckerberg with the navy blue t-shirt. So the reason they do that, if you don't already know, when you wake up in the morning, if you know exactly what you're going to wear, that's one less decision that you have to make. And there's actually been studies done. I'm not going to quote anyone specifically, but from what I've seen, basically you only have a certain number of decisions you can make in a day before you get tired. One thing I've started doing from the kind of minimalist movement is buying the same set of clothes, right? So I have 5 pairs of a black pair of jeans. I have 5 pairs of regular jeans. But yeah, I have the same set of different colored t-shirts. I have a black set of t-shirts, white, dark green, nice shirts, and I just mix it around within that because, again, when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to make a decisions. You have, 5 or 6 button-ups when I have to go to meetings or anything like that. But you know what you're going to wear, and you don't have to make that decision. So that's one thing that I found to be super useful. Another thing is really scheduling your day. So when it comes to minimalism, you have kind of a set routine that you follow and you don't really deviate from it. And the second I started doing that, it's been super, super useful. For example, this is how I break down my routine. I have set A, set B, and set C. These are things that I want to accomplish in one day. So set A is basically I want to send out an email, send out an invoice, and collaborate with this person. Go meet and collaborate with someone. So that's 3 things I have to get done today, right? And if I could finish set A, that'll be a productive, and I'll be happy with what I accomplished that day. But then I also have set B, which is just in case you finish everything on set A, you could move towards set B. And then set B is also 3 different things you have to do. And then I have set C, just in case you're on a roll that day, and you go through another 3 things on the list. So it really depends on the day. But also with that, I have 2 things that I do every single day, right? Which is going to the gym and eating healthy and getting good sleep, 3 things. So those are 3 things that I do every single day. It's not part of the schedule. I don't put gym, on my schedule or anything like that. It's just something I do every single day. And it's been awesome. It's been really useful, and I've been much, much more productive. So I really recommend that you guys go out and try it. The next thing in terms of minimalism that has really helped me, it's really the whole movement is really about kind of getting rid of your stuff, or that's the big misconception is people think that all you do is get rid of your stuff. So when you actually look at it and look at all the things you have to do, look in your drawers, look at your room, if you get rid of a lot of the things in your room, it's actually like a weight off your shoulders. You have to try it to know what I'm talking about. It actually feels really good. So you know where every little thing you need, right? So I need this microphone, I need my phone, I need this hard drive. If you know where everything is and you put it in the same spot every single time, it just makes it so much easier. And that's been super useful. But other than getting rid of stuff you don't need, it's, for me, the biggest thing about minimalism that I really like is so don't go out and buy stuff you don't need. People in their 20s, right? They're buying a BMW and things like that. One, it's really to fill in their insecurities, to show off, I guess. That's a very materialistic thing. But what I mean is people buy things to show it off to other people. They don't buy it because they actually like that piece of clothing or are really passionate about cars. So that's the thing with minimalism, is you want to get rid of things you don't need, and then like don't go out and buy things you don't need. And I really like that about minimalism, and it has really helped me just not waste my money on things I don't need, right? Like use what you have, and when the time is right, you could invest back into your business, with new equipment and things like that. Because that makes sense, that's logical, right? If you buy a new camera, that's only going to make your work better. But if you go out there and you buy $400 pair of jeans and like a Gucci backpack or a $1,000 Gucci backpack, like what is that really going to do for you? You know what I mean? So those are just some things about minimalism that I personally have started implementing in my own life and has really helped me. There's a lot more to it that you can go out and do your own research and kind of learn about it. I've just watched a couple of documentaries and some YouTube videos on it. So it's really cool, and I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on minimalism, because I know there's a lot of misconceptions on it. But that's really the truth about it, is it's really simplifying your life so you can actually go out and enjoy your life. That's really the key to it. I know Matt Diavella has some really awesome videos about minimalism. I've seen some of those. You guys can go check them out. Shout out to Matt. But yeah, that's really my thoughts on minimalism. Before I end this podcast, I have a couple questions for you guys. First of all, what do you think of the video podcast? What do you think of the setup? What do you think of the audio? Do you have any recommendations? Anything you guys want me to talk about? Because I definitely probably want to do like a Q&A for the third edition of the podcast. For those listening on the different platforms like Spotify, thank you so much for tuning in while you're on the go. For everyone watching here on YouTube, shout out to you. If you're new here and this is your first time watching this video podcast, hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications, because I would really appreciate it, and you'll be notified when I upload a new one. So I'll see you guys in the next one.